New Thought Media Network proudly presents the Global Heart of Peace's Peace Party. Celebrate the many paths to peace. Explore an exciting life of peace. Embody joyous peace. Come to our weekly Peace Party, Mondays at 5 p.m. Mountain Time. Only on New Thought Media Network. www.ntmedia.org.
Welcome to Peace Party, brought to you by the Centers for Spiritual Living's Global Heart of Peace initiative. I am Kathy Ballard, member of Global Heart of Peace and the treasurer for Golden Path of Peace. Come celebrate the many aspects of peace and explore how exciting and uplifting a life of peace can be. Today, I want to explore a simple but world-shifting idea. Peace begins with me. Not with governments, not with institutions, not with world leaders, with me, with you, with each of us. We often talk about world peace as if it's something out there, something distant, something controlled by forces beyond our reach. And the truth is far more intimate. We cannot expect peace in the world until we cultivate peace within ourselves. Ernest Holmes, founder of the Science of Mind philosophy, wrote, "Peace is the power at the heart of God. If peace is the very nature of the divine, then peace is also the nature of each one of us. The work is in remembering it." Think about it. Every conflict in the world, whether between nations or neighbors, begins with a thought, a belief, or a perception. The Arbinger Institute, known for its work on conflict transformation, teaches that conflict begins when we stop seeing people as people and start seeing them as obstacles, threats, or objects. When we lose sight of the humanity in others, peace becomes impossible. But that shift from seeing people as people to seeing them as objects doesn't begin out there. It begins inside us, in our own minds. Emma Curtis Hopkins, often called the teacher of teachers, said, "All the good that is to come is already here, waiting for our recognition." Peace is already here. It's waiting for us to recognize it within ourselves. We are anxious, angry, resentful, fearful. When we feel that way, we project that energy into the world. When we are centered, compassionate, grounded, and open-hearted, we project that instead. As we know, the world mirrors our inner state. So the question becomes, what am I contributing to the collective atmosphere? Am I adding peace or adding noise? Let's be honest, inner peace is not always easy. Life is full of challenges, personal, relational, financial, political, global, and peace is not the absence of challenge. Peace is the presence of clarity and the ability to pause before reacting. Peace is the willingness to breathe before speaking and the courage to choose compassion over judgment. Peace is the discipline to return to truth when fear tries to take over. Ernest Holmes reminds us, to the degree that we embody peace, we radiate peace. I remind myself every day that I am a beacon of peace. As a wise monk said, peace is not something we wait for. Peace is something we practice. And practice is the key word. Peace is a spiritual practice, a mental practice, an emotional practice. It's a choice we make again and again. Science of Mind teaches that thought is creative, that what we dwell on expands and what we focus on becomes our experience. If we want peace in our lives, We must think peace. If we want peace in the world, we must think peace. Emma Curtis Hopkins taught a powerful 3 R's method for finding peace. Recognize the thought that is disturbing your peace, release it, deny its power over you, and replace it with a higher truth. Recognize, release, replace. For example, when fear arises, replace it with faith. When anger arises, replace it with understanding. When judgment arises, replace it with compassion. When chaos arises, replace it with calm. This is not denial of reality or spiritual bypass. It is the creation of a new reality. The Arbinger Institute says, when we see others as people with hopes and needs as real as our own, we naturally move toward peace. That begins with seeing ourselves clearly, not as broken or lacking, but as a whole, capable and powerful creators of peace. So how do we actually cultivate peace within ourselves? Here are some ideas to assist you in anchoring peace in your daily life. 1, breathe. A single conscious breath can interrupt a cycle of stress. Inhale peace. Hold. Exhale tension. This simple act resets the nervous system and opens the heart. 2, pause before responding. Most conflict comes from reacting instead of responding. A pause with a breath creates space for wisdom. 3, see the person, not the problem. This is pure Arbinger Institute philosophy. When we see humanity in others, peace becomes the natural response. Speak peace. Your words carry energy. Speak gently, speak truthfully, and speak with intention. Speak peace. 5, practice compassion. Compassion is peace in action and is another form of respecting the humanity in others. 6, release thoughts of lack and limitation. Science of mind teaches us that lack is a lie. It is a limiting thought. When we release that limiting thought, we make room for peace to follow. Choose love. That's number 7. Peace and love are inseparable. Where one is, the other follows. Peace is a big word, but it has many beautiful companions. There are so many words that reflect peace. Calm, harmony, serenity, compassion, understanding, friendship, forgiveness, gratitude, kindness, respect, balance, unity, stillness, acceptance, grace, equanimity, gentleness, hope, self-righteousness. Each of these words is a doorway into peace. When we cultivate peace within ourselves, it doesn't stay contained. It radiates outward. It influences our families, our workplaces, our communities. It shifts conversations and softens the conflicts. It inspires people around us. Ernest Holmes says, Ernest Holmes wrote, we can never bring peace to the world unless we have peace in our own hearts. It is not just philosophy, it's physics. Energy moves, energy spreads, and energy multiplies. Your peace becomes someone else's peace. Your calm becomes someone else's calm. Your compassion becomes someone else's healing. This is how world peace actually begins. Not with treaties, not with individual choosing. Oh, this is how world peace actually begins, not with treaties, but with individuals choosing peace, moment by moment. So today, I invite you to let peace begin with you. Let it begin with your breath. Let it begin with your thoughts. Let it begin with your words. And let it begin with your actions. Let it begin with your willingness to see the divine in yourself and in others. Emma Curtis Hopkins said, "There is good for me and I ought to have it." Peace is that good. Peace is your birthright, your power, and peace is your gift to the world. And when enough of us choose peace within ourselves, the world will have no choice but to reflect that peace. Thank you for joining us today as we explored a unique aspect of peace and hopefully introduced you to a new way of looking at peace. Peace joins us. Please join us again next week at 5 p.m. Mountain Time for a new quest and topic. May you dance in the joy of a peace-filled life. Thank you.